Valentine's Day with a countdown that doesn't actually involve romance for me. How absurd. In any case, one of my favorite elements is fire, and I believe it is high time that we give some credit to those special female pyrokinetics. Same rules as always, but with the added stipulation that they have to be female, and it has to be exclusively limited to fire. Now, let's see who my heart burns for. Get it? 'Cause heart and love. Flames? No, forget it! Forget it! Forget it! No one appreciates fat puns anymore! I might be breaking a rule with this entry, but I don't really care. With the masters of each tower all being representatives of the elements, there will be bound to be one for fire. There are both gods and goddesses alike for each element, so each corresponding tower gets one boss representing an element and either a god or a goddess, where we then encounter the Blazing Citadel's master. Its design is very reminiscent of a phoenix-like creature, with its slender, feminine appearance and wing-like arms, granting the ability of flight. During the battle, the flesh that you need to aim for is within its chest, but it already has some jewel-like shields up that will prevent it from chain grapples. In this case, it's high time to use a chain strike attack, a technique that shoots the chain outward with enough force to break these shields. It would be a little higher if not for the admittedly clunky controls, awkward and rarely used battle tactics, and the fact that it rarely uses any fire attacks despite being in such a location. Either way, this fiery fiend is number 5, and personally one of my better goddess tower boss fights. Can we talk about Sonic Rush again?
Leave it to me.
Blaze is easily one of my favorite characters in the franchise. Last countdown I mentioned that they did her introduction to the series justice, and I stand by that statement. She generally started off as a loner type of character, where she had the sense of duty that she needed to do everything by herself. Thrown into Sonic's world, she needed to get the Soul Emeralds, and Cream was happy to help her. As Blaze got more emeralds, she eventually starts warming up to being Cream, and by that same extension, Sonic's companion. She's one hell of a pyrokinetic, where she can cloak herself in flaming tornadoes that somehow work underwater, can use a boost technique similar to the spin dash, and can use the Soul Emeralds to go Burning Blaze, with the ability to shoot Fireball Hadoukens. So overall, Blaze is a great addition to the Sonic franchise, along with the 2 games she came along with. I'm also really glad that she's voiced by Laura Bailey. Not only is she Lucina, but also Chun-Li from Street Fighter, which means...
Spinning bird kick!
A new legend is about to start! The unconquerable Snow Black Yukiko Magi!
Holy Arcfire, this is straight up class! Yukiko, being classified as the waifu character, has many qualities of a person that you just have that special admiration for. She's a pretty damn smart student, easily fitting the bill as a squishy mage healer, and is an all-around nice person to everyone. However, considering that this is Persona, hidden layers are always beneath them, forming shadows. And her shadow is...
I've got my lacy unmentionables on. Hope you're ready.
She really can't deal with the stress of becoming the heiress to her family's inn, and just needs some means of escape, which is pulled off excellently in her boss battle and the following social links afterwards, where she then decides to become a stronger individual in order to repay those who protected and support her. Case in point, running the inn that her family owns. Story things aside, she is one of the most useful members in the game. Besides her access to easy healing skills, she can also use a wide range of fire attacks, all made greater by her impressive magic stats. I mean, sure, she's awesome in Persona 4, but her arena counterparts take it to a whole new level where she plays well at long range with her various fire attacks and capabilities to heal if in a tight spot. There's also the fact that she could also boost her attack power via Fire Break and Fire Boost. And don't even get me started on her insta-kill.
Race Blitz. Cherry Blossom Storm!
Damn, Nature, you scary!
Make your existence known.
Since Bravely Default has you find the same 4 bosses for the same 4 chapters, you would expect that there would be some sort of payoff in doing so. Well, it just so happens that the fairy companion that you had this entire time was the freaking enemy!
You've all been deceived!
Even as early as the very first cutscene or journal entry of the game, Aerie has been manipulating multiple counterparts of our intrepid heroes into awakening the crystals to revive the big bad, linking as many worlds possible as a sacrifice. And naturally, this means that our team is furious, beginning many yet very cathartic battles to put this eldritch abomination to the ground. Her first larvae-like phase mostly consists of the absurdly powerful Slaughter attack that can cause poison or use Type Bind to place a stop status effect on your party. If you manage to beat that, she evolves into a disgustingly huge Metapod, gaining more elemental attacks and the ability to remove buffs and cause massive super effective damage with all elements. However, her true potential as a Flame Fatale is only shown in the true ending. While you fight these 2 forms in the false ending as well, the final form is truly the best form of them all. Now she's getting serious. Now powered up by her boss, she gains not only a divine butterfly-like appearance, she also becomes one of the best climax bosses ever. She has all the same powers as her other 2 forms, but now adds Zeta Flare to her arsenal. It's a freaking powerful fire tornado that can cause almost instant kills when combined with Ace Dia. This single fire attack was what managed to convince me that she is a pyromaniac. And even if you manage to kill her, this stubborn insect won't die, forcing you to keep killing her until her boss grows tired of her. It is a bit difficult if you're not prepared correctly, but when you are, you get the entire satisfaction of kicking her ass across the map, frontwards and backwards to the most awesome piece of music in this entire game. From the reveal to the first phase and even exploring the dreary Dark Aurora dungeon, it all culminates into this giving her long-awaited scalding comeuppance after making you trek through the same bosses over and over, and it is awesome!
The road ahead's rough, especially for you! This one's is for Anyas!
My thoughts exactly, Tiz. So, what could possibly beat a Navi on flaming steroids with the same personality as Dahlia Hawthorne? Well, I considered Conception 2 to be RPG of the 2014, so in an inverted twist of fate off of Halloween's Countdown, we have the primary flame user of this game, Ellie Troat. What? I just really like Ellie. I mean, if you had to choose between a genocidal butterfly woman and the taste like vanilla stars fry magical girl for a mother, who would you pick? Ellie is that special archetype of character that is Wake's underclassman, but it also possesses a wide variety of skills, at least in universe. I mean, she's decent in combat, but honestly the whole story arc around her is pretty damn cool. She normally goes around and does a couple things for the church out of sight, and with good reason, since they usually involve taking down a lot of bad guys that are not part of the main game. As these duties take place, she neglects some basic necessities, such as sleep, food, or even house maintenance. That is until Wake kindly starts getting involved with her life, event after event. Then we find out that Ellie was saved by Wake at one point in their childhood, and Wake doesn't even remember it until some of her blood is scraped from a rock. Second equals first girl. Math. But then we get into some trouble with the bad guys she was hunting down and get MIB'd. Later, when we confront her partner, voiced by Yuri Lowenthal by the way, we find out that she is, to put it simply, a magical girl zombie, who has to be maintained by...
I'm running! I'm running!
So they reconcile and their relationship is rekindled, making more sparks. There's also the fact that Wake was so desperate in making sure that she didn't die. Safe to say that she's treated as the little sister character, and Klotz seems to think so as well. She's also pretty decent in combat, with her best stats in magic and magic attack, optimal for creating a strong fire-based magic knight or astromancer, both classes with high magic stats. With all that said, she's one of the best girls in this game. Her backstory, ex machina bike, and dedication to her profession despite her initial appearance all make her a #1 Fla-emme Fatale. I'm the Town Tactician, and here's some voice acting trivia. Sam Riegel plays the protagonist of Wake Arcus in this game, while Ellie is played by his younger sister, Eden Riegel.
What? Are you serious?